So I should share my screen too. Okay, cool. What do I need to do? Hold on. All right. What Conscience, I just invited you to speak so you can come up on stage. All right. So yeah, it's nice to be back. I was out all of last week, had a really nice vacation with friends and then just with my wife in Mexico. It was super great. And I'm really excited to be back for this week and catch up on things. And I'm excited to, I've been catching up with some people all morning, but I'm excited to start catching up more by hearing some appreciations and wins from the past week. Does anybody have any of those to share? I guess I could actually even start by appreciating having an awesome engineering work stream and just a whole strong culture that I had this vacation plan before wave dates or decentralization or any of that stuff was finalized and dates were set. So really nice to have a team that has a strong culture that can keep some good work going through the week and manage this whole pretty massive transition to be gone for the first week of that. And I felt really comfortable and secure. So thanks to the whole engineering work stream and really to the whole DAO community for that.
I just want to appreciate everyone's been charging ahead on their own little streams of stuff. We've got 5 different things in progress, and everyone's making great progress, been reaching out and collaborating, and PRs have been going in smoothly and quickly. So it's great to see. Also, the ops team. We've got the new members coming on board. Never was, and Ron helping to going to get involved with testing. So that's going to be great as well.
Thanks, DeFi.
Yeah, I guess big ones on the OpEx front. We've managed to knock almost $1,000 a day off the AWS bill moving forward. So that's good. Big win.
Yeah, that's super good. Reminder that if anyone from the audience has an appreciation, please raise your hand and I can bring you up on stage. So, all right. If there's nothing else for now, then I'm going to, here's our slide for this week and kick us off DeFi.
Thank you. The usual standing items for anyone that's new and listening in. All of these open source repos, we're accepting contributions, we're paying retroactive bounties, we're helping get people onboarded, not just to engineering, but to ops as well. So feel free to get involved. We have the daily stand-up is now in the calendar as well. So hoping to see more people there. We're still doing it at 10 a.m. in the stand-up all access voice channel. In terms of the bounty work, so Elmont's been working on the Bitcoin support throughout the stack, working on fees. The next thing coming will be the WebSocket support throughout that. Wallet support, including MetaMask. We probably should mention Portis here as well. So MetaMask has been merged. Portis has got a PR up at the moment too. So thanks to Pastor Ghost and Major Hayes for their work on that. 0x swapping, Ryan is finishing up the SendMax stuff. There's a bulk of the work has already been merged in. So that stuff's getting pretty close. And then the Yearn finance integration, kind of wrapping up the UI side of things. And Ocean, the new head of technology at the foundation, has been giving us a hand with the contract work that we have to do for that. So we've been working with the Yearn team on those details. And then the dashboard, asset details, just general kind of stuff. Everyone's going to swarm on at the end. Just general niceties, making the thing, look and feel like it should. So yeah, all the web stuff is charging along nicely. So I'll hand it over to Kevin for the coins updates.
Hey, thank you. For the coins updates, we are basically working on the Bitcoin WebSockets. ETH WebSockets were in place. Bitcoin WebSockets weren't quite there. So adding those, and then also adding the additional functionality of being able to essentially subscribe to all addresses by XPub, which is a little bit different than ETH, and some extra logic that needs to be added to that side of things. Hoping to wrap that up here shortly, and that should get us all of the transaction history for both ETH and Bitcoin coming over to the client at that point. I did start working on a transaction parsing module before flipping over to the Bitcoin stuff, and this is basically taking out a lot of the brains from the ingestion pipeline in the Unchained side and moving that out into a package that can be used by anyone if they want, but also we can move some of that logic client side and reduce some of the heaviness for Unchained as a backend service, especially as we move towards this idea of decentralizing and having everybody running their own Unchained backends and just keeping that cost down ideally and more lightweight to make that more feasible. So we'll hop back over to that post Bitcoin WebSocket work. And I don't know, the bug fixes, I don't know who's addressing those anymore, but I don't really have any updates for keep key things myself. Guess Will next.
Cool. Yeah, I already kind of spilled the beans already on the big win from last week. Work continues on cost optimization. Work continues on the Loki POC for the Unchained cluster to make it easy to get feedback out of the processes that are running in the Unchained clusters that people will be running. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, a lot of clerical work going on in the background. Moving into the mode where we're starting to look at itemizing all the vendor services that we use, what needs to move, what doesn't need to move by the end of the year as far as ownership transfer is concerned. That's about it.
Hey, Conscience, on that note about the ownership and accounts and stuff, would you be willing to check in as people rotate onto on call? Can you check in with them and make sure that they have access to canines and whatever else they Datadog, what they need with their new alias accounts?
Yeah, I've already done that to a fair degree with, I got people set up their DAO identities the week before Wave 2 offboarding and had people test to confirm that they could still do their jobs with their new stuff. So I think at this point, it's just a matter of going through and expiring their old API keys and making sure that everything continues to work. But yeah, I think we've done some due diligence proactively to make sure that that's the case.
Okay, cool. All right, Mr. Nerdhair.
Hey guys, this week the priority for me is working on getting secret storage for Web v2 working in the most secure way possible prior to launch. The Pendo people got back to me this morning with code to review for their analytics client thing. That's a second tier thing due to the fact that it doesn't have to be done before launch. Itchy is launching something later this week. I know they require a review before that, and at some point I expect them to reach out and ask for that to be done. I think that they're probably going to deploy things correctly, so I expect I'll just be able to check it and say, yep, you did it properly, and you're good to go. But I'll be available to support that. And I've posted a proposal for responsible disclosure program in a decentralized DAO-ish format on the forum, and I would appreciate any feedback you might have. And that's about it at the moment. Perklin's still in or flying back from Lisbon, so I don't expect him back till last half of this week.
Cool. Thank you, Mr. Nerdhair. GM, everyone. So we've been really pressing forward on the Make V2 Live bounty. For anyone that saw the demos last week, it was a great showcase of the progress there on a lot of fronts. Getting pretty excited for all that to come together. I just wanted to put out a reminder that I'm always available to jump in and help if help is desired. I've been focusing on Unchained, a lot of stuff you heard from Kevin a bit ago. Yeah, office hours this week are Wednesday at 3 p.m. And welcome back, Josh. Definitely missed you.
Thanks, Adam. Great to be back. Do you think that the office hours this Wednesday would be a distraction from people staying heads down, and should we think about canceling them to support the launch effort?
I'd be okay with it. I'd also be okay with it being completely optional for our engineers that are working that stuff.
Yeah, okay. Maybe I'll post something in Engineering Public and just see what the public would think if we canceled them, what the community would think, and if there's no big pushback, then I'll chat with you about it again and we can consider it.
Yep.
Because that's
we've mostly been just working in a public channel, more or less. So it hasn't derailed things for us really in the past. Although it should derail things because we want people to get involved and ask questions and press us.
Yeah, if it's just us working in public channels, I understand, right? That's just kind of our normal modus operandi at this point. Maybe just set the Anyway, okay, we'll chat.
Okay.
So yeah, what I'm looking at coming back in from being gone for a week and seeing that there has been a lot of good development progress has been awesome. And I'll be totally honest, it is some concerning to me that nothing yet is in the hands of operations or product to test. Our original targets had some dev done dates by the end of October, and which means we would have had some things in testing last week, and we haven't. That is not the case yet. So I do have some concern about 10 days until go live, and nothing has yet, and not individual features haven't even yet been given to ops or product for testing. So I'm going to be this afternoon. My calendar has some time, and I'm just going to be jumping around different rooms and chatting on the different efforts towards go live, of just to basically try to push or prod a little bit towards what needs to happen so we can get this in the hands of testing. Because in some ways, when we're making good progress, but with no external validation that we're getting where we need to go, it makes me a little concerned. And then also for me, the biggest individual on my to-do list is the preparation for processing the first payroll on the 15th, and that processing starts way ahead of the 15th because of the way Colony works, and there's the 3-day waiting period and all that stuff. So workstream contributors, please DM me your ETH address by end of day Thursday, and we can talk about it more and dig in more into payroll processing on our private workstream meeting tomorrow. So that's it for me, catching up on on everything in addition to that, with what all the stuff happening in the community, and just the constant reminder that our vision is self-sovereignty. Bethany, Biggie.
Josh, welcome back. Yeah, and from the product side, we're ready to help testing whenever you guys are ready. So please just let us know. Cool. We have a lot of stuff going on this week. Osmosis is in development and well underway in the mobile app. Osmosis bonding, the UX, we're starting to work on that. That was not part of the original proposal, but it is a piece of the Osmosis ecosystem that we need. So we are still going to move forward doing the UX and UI for that in both the mobile app and the web app. Staking on Cosmos is another thing that we'd like to get underway just because it's so similar to Osmosis. There shouldn't be too much of a lift from a UX and UI perspective, and we'd just like to get that done and ready to go. And then we've started having some open source version conversations around the new mobile app from a product side, and definitely want to start having those conversations with engineering as well. So we'll be hopefully touching on that today and the EMPM powwow later on. Again, Web 2.0 and Yearn just available to help test and get that out the door and hopefully hit that deadline. Osmosis, again, the bonding. On Juno, starting on the product spec for that and the UX probably later this week will kick off. And again, staking on Cosmos. And then one of the other big projects we have coming up for web is displaying all the DeFi positions across different protocols, the first version of that. So Beard and I are going to sync up today and start talking around that and what that would look like in the new web app. And then on the external website, the new careers page went live last week. And then Hoff's working on building out the new buy sell crypto page for the .com website. And then just high level priorities this week. Just again, Yearn and Web 2.0. The new proposal for the alpha version with analytics is up on the forum. And we'd love to hear the community's feedback on that. But we're super excited about the conversations that happened around analytics and where we ended up and this new idea for this alpha version. I think it's just super cool, and I'm super excited to hear what the community thinks. And then just we're looking for a PM or two to help out on the product side. We have interviews and projects underway with some candidates, so we'll just relay more information as we have it. And I will pass it over to Willie. Thanks, guys.
GM, everyone, just had a couple miscellaneous things today. One, we are coordinating with IOTA, NEAR, and the engineering workstream to have the first chain integrations that are completed by third parties. IOTA is interested in their community doing the work, and NEAR wants to put up a bounty for the broader community, potentially the engineering workstream, or potentially even developers outside of the engineering workstream to come do the work. So engineering workstream, appreciate your support and getting these plans in place so that come 18th, these groups are ready to start moving forward. Also had a miscellaneous question. This was suggested by LPX. We have this Keep Key export page that right now has an interesting domain name, and it does work well. We point users there a lot. Support does at least, but we are interested in just getting this hosted on ShapeShift.com. Just wanted to ask, what's the best way to do that? I'm happy to make an issue for it, but not quite sure where to make that issue and how to get it prioritized. And wanted to just ask the whole work stream, what would be the best way to prioritize this?
Is it hosted on a tertiary, on a third-party service, and we just need to point a DNS name at it or something, or?
It is hosted somewhere. I'm not sure where it's hosted right now.
So is it an app or just static HTML?
I think it's all front end. I don't think there's any server side stuff happening. But that said,
it's deployed on now.sh, which is a Versal domain. So it's a Versal deploy. I don't know if you can just CNAME it over there, or if you had to do something fancier for their servers to work. But
yeah, I think we can just CNAME to the Versal domain. But let's chat offline, Willie.
Cool. Thanks, Will. All right, back to you, Josh.
All right.
I'll hop in for a second, Josh, and just go over a couple things.
Please.
Morning, guys. Yeah, quick updates today. Yearn support still moving on, going well. If you guys want more detailed updates on that, obviously it's covered in the engineering stand-up every day at 10. On Juno spec is being worked on as we speak, and that will be finished sometime this week, and hopefully having a kickoff for that probably next week, but still need to work on an exact date. Have a few outstanding bug issues. Thorchain BTC to any UTXO trade, the minimums aren't coming through, and people can trade any amount, and if it's too small, it's just failing. There's an invalid big number string error that a few users are getting, also being worked on, and then of course our lingering chart issues. Roadmap continues to be updated, so feel free to check on that if you ever want an update, and feel free to ask myself or Diggy or anyone else on the product team if you have questions about it. And that should be about everything I have. So yeah, back to you, Josh. Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for all of that, everybody. Lots of good product stuff happening there too. All right, we're towards the end here. Is there any other from anybody questions or updates? New information of any kind? Anyone who's in the audience, feel free to raise your hand.
Hey, so I'm setting up the go no go for V2 and Yearn, and I'm looking to see like what date works for everybody for the initial one and what time everybody would like to have that. So that's product engineering, marketing, security, support, all included inside of that. But I guess this is a large enough format to at least get the larger ballpark of people.
Yeah, I think we can do just one. I don't think we need a separate one for Yearn and a separate then V2 because it's all going or not at the same time. And I think we could probably, maybe it's a good idea to schedule the first one for this Thursday, knowing that we're not going to be a go by Thursday, but at least we can do a run through of it and know exactly where we are and be ready for the next one next week.
Okay, cool.
Any-
So I'll set that up for Thursday unless anybody else wants has anything or they want it earlier.
Yes, anyone else? DeFi, Adam, do you have an opinion here?
I think Thursdays, it's good from my perspective.
Ideally, a little sooner if we could. That's my only thought.
Like tomorrow or Wednesday, you mean?
Yeah, tomorrow would be good.
Okay.
It just helps us flush things out sooner. That's all.
Yeah. All right. I'm all right with that. Adam, you good with that tomorrow? If there's time tomorrow.
No objections. Sure.
Okay.
Right. Then I'll make an announcement with whatever time slot that I take for tomorrow. Most likely it's going to be in the morning.
Yeah, let's use that that DM channel just to coordinate the time.
Okay.
It's pretty difficult without a common calendar to see, I know. So yeah, let's use that.
Prior to 10:30 stand-ups, if we can avoid conflicting, that would be great.
So you're saying not until 10:30 or later, right, Adam?
Yeah, I don't want to miss the stand-ups for it.
Well, I think we're going to need almost the whole engineering work stream in it anyway. Maybe we do that maybe that's what we do instead of the stand-up. How about that? And then we're not doing a stand-up and then that. DeFi, what do you think of that? Doing it at 10 instead of the stand-up?
Yeah, it works for me. It's essentially the same content anyway.
All right, 10 a.m. then.
If it doesn't work for some reason, then it's an experiment. As an experiment, we won't do it instead of the stand-up again.
Okay. I'll reach out to the other stakeholders and see if that works for them.
Cool. And where do we do it?
That's a good question. I'm thinking that we do it in an all access channel.
Yeah, not the stage, because I don't want to do too many people need to speak, and that just sounds
Yep.
like it.
Yeah. So I'll pick one of the all access channels.
Okay, perfect.
Cool. That's all I had.
Thank you for that. Any other questions from anyone or announcements for the week? All right. Thanks, everybody. Hope you all have a great week. Hope to see you around.
Thank you.